Drone Seekers are live.
Yes, and it's Sunday night again, and here we are again, the Drone Seekers International Live Show on Sunday. Strange enough. Right. So a quick introduction that I don't need any. Down below is Jackie, and that way is Marcus, and that way is Terry. Right, okay. Lots to get through today, so yes, we have got a special guest, and we did actually tell everyone, so there's no secret, but anyway, we're going to play this first of all.
Let's welcome this week's Drone Seekers live show special guest.
Yes, DeMarco Moore. Welcome, DeMarco.
Wow.
There we are. What an introduction, eh?
I should have worn a tuxedo.
So we are live to the nation. Yes. Right, so anyone in Facebook, please register your name. Otherwise, you'll just come as a Facebook user, and we won't know who you are.
Or you could just say hello and who you are.
Or just say hello. Yeah. My name is whatever. If you don't want to reveal your real name, but anyway, welcome to everyone in the chat so far. We've got TDR Drones, Steve Fox, Jack. I know Jackie's here, and Brian and Steve Deere, right? And Steve. Yeah. Sally's here, so we just said hello. And Steve's still in Spain. Are you lucky? You. But anyway, well, we might get to Spain in October. You never know your luck. We'll see.
We had to cancel our flying on Friday, didn't we, Jackie?
Yeah, it was just too hot.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Much
38 degrees. Oh no,
that's not a bad thing, surely. The sunshine. I mean, we had sunshine all day today, and then we've just been pouring down the rain. So hey, whatever.
We stayed in all day with the air conditioning on.
Can I tell you about hot? When I was out at the drag strip on Friday, so in the staging lanes where you're waiting in your car, you're moving up to take your turn to go down the racetrack. It was about 110 degrees, but when you got to the starting line itself, as you can imagine, because these cars produce a lot of heat.
Oh, the engine's running.
Oh, yeah, I'm just imagining it.
They measured it about 150 degrees on the tarmac.
It's me.
Yeah. You just literally were drinking a bottle of water the whole time. Yeah.
Oh well, at least the batteries in the cars are fixed in well enough, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was dead sick actually, Jackie, because I said I'm not going to put my GoPro on the top.
Yeah.
Well, the other day I was trying them out, testing them, and I don't think it will fit yours. But I put the clip on the top of my Mavic, and it locked the battery in.
Oh.
It goes across the end of the battery. It would have stopped it from flipping up.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Like it needs to wear the belt permanently then, doesn't it?
Well, when we go out Friday, I shall put it on.
So I'm not sure, DeMarco, whether you know the story of this, but Terry had a bit of a mishap with his Mavic 2 Zoom.
I did watch that video.
Yeah. Have you seen the video?
I saw the video, yeah.
Oh, you seen the video?
I watched it, like we missed it, yeah. Yeah.
Did you cry as well, DeMarco?
Wasn't good.
Did you have a tear?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Did you have a tear as well?
No. I make sure to like hear that clap.
No,
I was flying over a river.
When you saw it fall, though.
No, but I mean, most people see a drone fall out of the sky, and it's sort of it's never a good thing. I mean, it doesn't matter when you feel it. You actually feel it, don't you? I mean, it's like
It's like
with the I have a Mavic Air 2 and sometimes like when you put the battery in, like you can hear it click, and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh,
Okay.
So I shake it, and then I'll take it back out and like
Take it
slam
out.
it in there.
oh,
Yeah.
the clip.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen at
No.
all.
So I'm just thinking, what it's a pity you haven't got enough space to actually get like a magnetic strip, actually sort of just be a reinforcement, be like a cross between a DJI and a Sky.
Audio, and that's the battery, yeah.
Or even with the new Evo, like the battery slides in the back, and that seems a little bit safer. Seems safer.
Yeah.
You definitely got to have pre-flight checks, haven't you?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Without a doubt.
Well, now the Mavic Air 2, it will tell you if it's not latched. They put a circuit in there, and if you look at those clips on the Mavic Air 2 now, they're made out of metal. So when you snap it in, it closes a circuit. And if it's not closed, the drone won't take off. It won't let you take off. And it tells you that you've got it.
Terry's battery was obviously in at the start because
Definitely.
it flew, it was flying around. And
Well, that's what makes me think that obviously the heat made it expand and actually pushed out because it. I mean, I know it's when you push the thing and you hear it. It's well, I know on the Mavic it certainly is a definite sort of click, but you know, with the heat expanding and pushing everything out, it probably just made it a lot looser. And
That's
it just
right. Exactly that. Exactly that.
have a nice holiday, Gary.
Yeah, we got one,
Gary,
Gary.
14 days quarantine. Remember?
Yeah.
Enjoy Mallorca. I love Mallorca.
I heard her make it in 21 days by the time we get back. By the way, Gary.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm really not.
So, DeMarco, I take it that Maddox is on her mother's.
Yes. I told him I was going live, and he ran upstairs and grabbed his mother's iPad, and he's watching from upstairs. So Maddox, hello, buddy.
Nice.
Go downstairs.
I think it does fit in.
Yes. I told Marcus, in the next live, don't have twins. So don't do it.
Brian was just saying there, it's just the Mavic 2 not tell if the battery's not in right. But the thing is, it was though. I mean, you've been flying for what 10, 15 minutes,
10 minutes.
So the battery obviously in.
There was a huge power consumption. I'd done 2 lots of sport mode.
Yeah,
whipped around.
The heat and everything. I think that's exactly what it was, to be quite honest. So, but anyway, it's a good learning curve. Learning curve.
You weren't that high up, were you, when it fell out of the
Yeah,
sky?
it was about 20 feet.
Yeah.
If that. I actually was very fortunate when it came down because within seconds, 2 cyclists.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They could have gone, well, what was that? Just whacked me on the back of the head. It was a Mavic 2.
It shows you what can happen, though, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
I've never seen that before.
That could have been very unfortunate timing, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine, just the timing just slightly different to what it was, and that thing come down and whack me on the back. That would hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, my third-party liability is up as well, so that's fine.
Yeah, we'll perhaps get that sorted.
Yeah. But,
For me, like I normally fly over this big lake or river or lake. It's more of a lake. But
So the only thing you hurt is ducks.
Oh yeah, well, fishers too. There are a lot of fishermen out there though. But I told myself if this thing falls out of the sky, I'm just gonna load my stuff back in the car.
That's it. Just go.
Amen, Michael.
So Steve Fox said,
I really wish I had have done, but it was about 30 or 40 feet away from me, coming down 20 feet.
I thought you said, did you catch the Mavic Air? It wasn't a Mavic Air, it was a Mavic Pro.
Mavic Pro. No, catch it in mid-air.
Yeah.
Jack, it didn't run that fast.
So what drones do you fly in, DeMarco? I mean, have you got
Hundreds.
He's got a Zeno, haven't you?
Well, he tells me he's not an expert, but I said to him, well, I'll be more of an expert than, well, There's at least 3 of us in here.
Well, here I can.
I'm not mentioning Marcus's name because.
No, I am not an expert. I'm not a professional. I don't make a living by doing this. I go out and do this like when I get a chance, like when the kids actually give me time to actually do it though. But my first drone was a AR drone, the Parrot drone. That was around 7 years ago. Then I took a break for a long time. Then I started with a Bugs 3 about 2 years ago.
Is that more like a racing drone? Is it?
So there's no GPS on it at all. It's just all manual. Then I moved up to a Vizio XS. Mark, I get this wrong all the time. I sound like Ron.
Well,
I moved up to that, and then I got a the original Xeno, which I loved. Like that's what got me hooked there. That was drone that got me hooked. Then I
you win one too. You won another.
Yes. So I bought one, waited a couple of months before it came in, and mine arrived. Then about a week or 2 later, I actually won one from Ready Set Drone. I don't know if you guys follow him.
That's
Kelly
cool.
Shores,
yeah. I won one, so I had 2. I had 2 now and 4 batteries.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So, like I would fly one or the other. I mean, not like I fly one on Monday and the other on Wednesday. And then I finally moved up to an Autel Evo 1.
Right.
And had that for a couple of months. Then I bought a Mavic Air, and then a Mavic 2 Zoom, and the latest one is the Mavic Air 2. And as you can see, my voice is getting lower. My wife is not home, so
that's a surprise. He's got I've got a Mavic Air.
But I got the Zoom. I didn't get the Pro Zoom.
What are you going to get next? Have you got a Sky? DeMarco,
no. I want that.
Radio 2.
I want that. Though my latest purchase is.
Yeah.
Oh, smart controller. Everyone's getting smart controllers.
Yeah, I mean, so I picked up one of the refurbs the other day, and what I'm struggling with now is like I have cases for like all my drone. I have a GPC and Nanook cases, and now I'm struggling. Okay, do I upgrade all my cases for the Mavic Air 2 and the Zoom, or do I just get a holder for the smart controller? So
I mean, this is I got one DeMarco, and it was about like $10 or something.
Yeah.
$12 and on Amazon, and I got it in a couple days.
That's what I'm thinking about doing. So
let's go picture up.
One of Xeno 2. I have one for sale.
Yeah.
I've got a picture up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He listens to you, Jackie. Not everybody needs that on the Express. I'm sure there's a joke there somewhere. I'm not quite.
I'm sure there must be. Yeah.
I haven't pulled it out. Anyway, that's the case, and let's unzip it. This is a first. Yeah. So we just put it right in there.
Yeah. The only thing while I'm going back and forth, because I love to have it all in one case.
I totally understand, DeMarco. Yeah. I
love to have it all in one. So.
Yep. You just pick it up and head out.
There you go. What I'm worried about is like going flying and having having my smart case in my
there you go.
Case and leaving one. That's what I'm worried.
Well, that's my old photographic case, which I don't use for my other cameras. So I thought, well, I'll convert it into a drone carrier.
Yeah, like my one.
Yeah.
DeMarco, look, Steve Fox says he's got a smart controller case. I'm not sure he's trying to sell it to you, or he just he's got one. maybe he's going to give it to you free of charge. Steve.
So like that's the big worry now, though, because I don't want to. I like to have all my stuff all compact and looking good though. But I don't know. I guess it's a first world problem here that I'm going through. So yeah.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think are worse problems to have,
but I tell you this, of my Mavic Air 2 and my Mavic 2 Zoom, I enjoy the Air 2 a little bit more right now. So yeah, I mean they like it was this big thing. Is that the best drone out? It is a really good drone, and the way that DJI does it, their Mavic 3 is going to be a knockout because like normally they come out swinging, and if the Air 2 is this good, the Mavic 3 is going to be off the charts. So.
I mean, going back, I mean, you said you had the Auto
Evo.
Yeah, that's the one that Gary had, right? Is it Gary Lee had Auto Evil?
That's exactly.
I mean, he sings in praise. I mean, he loved it. He loved his drone. I mean, how do you compare that with like the Mavic 2 Air? I mean, is there any?
I'll say this. Coming from the original Xeno, it was a big upgrade, huge upgrade from the original Xeno. And the Xeno's not a bad drone, but the Xeno's on that cusp of a toy drone. It's right there. It's right there. Whereas the Autel Evo is a what would you call it, Marcus? Almost
prosumer drone.
Yeah, a prosumer drone.
Prosumer.
I had
now.
yeah, I've had no issues with it up until they actually they put out a new app for it, and so like the past year it's been great. Like this past month has been rough. So bad.
Yeah, the new app. What did it do, DeMarco?
They just changed everything, and like what it's doing to me, like when I'm flying a drone, the app actually freezes up, and it's twice it freezes up, and that's never happened to like a DJI drone, Hubsan drone, none of that. But like this one freezes up and locks up. Luckily, with the Evo, like there's a screen on the controller, so I can switch over to it. But
that's good. Yeah, it doesn't fill you with confidence if it does that, does it?
Yeah.
No.
Michael was saying I brought a Mac case for the Air 2 that fits smart controller as well as the standing controller for the Air 2. Is removable piece that allows the smart controller to fit perfectly.
I like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Whose telephone's ringing?
That's mine. Alexa, answer me phone. I'm not here.
I'm not here.
I'm trying to train Alexa to answer my phone and just say, I'm sorry, the number you've dialed has not been recognised. Oh, dear. I mean, did anyone say this is a ringing show or something? It's someone from Facebook reading, I can't get through.
No, it's Alexa.
Sunday night phoning.
Yeah, so, do you know what? No, I think we've got enough technology going on here, really.
Yeah, no.
What about you guys? What do you guys fly?
I've
I
still
got a
got
Mavic Air Zoom. Oh, Mavic 2 Zoom, sorry.
Mavic 2 Zoom.
Yeah.
And the Mavic, I'm still flying a Mavic Pro at the moment. I say at the moment.
At the moment.
Marco, it's easier for me to tell you what drones I'm not flying.
I'm not. Oh, Mark. I know Marcus.
Marcus is flying my Skydio 2.
He's keeping it warm. He's keeping it running condition.
Yeah. That thing is magic.
I really want one of those. What I'm not willing to do is just wait for it. That's the only thing though. So I'm just waiting.
Well, they're starting to catch up. I bet you within a month or two, I'll bet you'll be able to just order one and have it shipped. They're getting pretty close to catching up on their backlog of orders. Yeah, the Skydio 2. And then hopefully they'll go international, right? Because there's tremendous.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be brilliant. Not that I can afford one, but.
What is the price on there, Marcus? What is the price tag on it?
just the drone is $999, so just under $1,000. So that's the drone and a battery, and then you just would fly it with the app. It's the only drone I've ever flown with an app with no controller that worked and was actually kind of satisfactory. But
did you see the video this week where the guy was walking along a bridge and it hit the wire, but it sorted itself out? How brilliant was that?
A little tip for it. Al Drone's our guest next week, by the way.
It was all going to be on. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I watched that video and I contacted him. I said, look, I want to do some features on this video because I was just amazed. I was purely amazed. The thing. Well, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but who's watched it knows what happens. Yeah. And I was very, very impressed indeed.
Well, let me be clear. Skydio tells you that the drone will not recognize cables and small branches. So they tell you not to do that.
Yeah.
So I'll do that.
You're testing it.
Have you seen it, DeMarco? Have you seen the video?
Yes, yeah. I saw the video. That's one of the things. Like when I'm biking around here or running around my house, I'm looking for cables all the time. when I do get my Skydio, yeah. Marcus, here one question I have for you: do you need the controller or no?
No, you can fly it just fine without the controller. Now the controller is another $150, so you'd be $1,150 with the controller. But Jackie, what you would want would be the beacon. And the beacon is just a handheld device that the GPS on the beacon agrees with the drone, and that's when it follows.
So pop it in my backpack or on my bike and set off and it follows the beacon, yeah?
So right, you either use a beacon or the controller, that's it. Or can you use your phone?
It will follow your phone, but it won't have the range. Yeah.
Right.
It does pretty good following your phone. Now, with the beacon, and I'm talking to Jackie because I know she's interested, is that you can tell it where you want it to follow you from, straight in front, behind, to the sides, or degrees around it. And then you can also fly it to a certain degree with the beacon. You can push plus and minus to make it go forward and backward, etc. And then it even has automated flight modes. So say Jackie, you're on your bike no, let me give you a better example. Let's say you're climbing a mountain someplace.
Yeah.
You're at a dramatic spot and you want it to do a droney. You put that button twice in the middle of the beacon and it'll just take off and do a droney.
And does it keep circling?
Well, then it'll come back. Now you could do that too. You could have it orbit you as well. Yeah. Anyway, this probably more information.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love the idea.
Yeah.
It's always looked. As you know, I've always been a bit sort of skeptical about the drone because thinking, well, it does this automated thing, but sometimes you want to do, but obviously it obviously does both things.
Oh, when you
it does it exceptionally well, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you fly it with the controller, I have a video where I flew it out over the Snake River Canyon just like I would any other drone.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that it has a really, I like the color profile. They had GoPro engineers that helped them with that camera and put together the color profile. So if you like the color profile on a GoPro, you'll love the Sky.
The GoPro is much better than the DJI.
See, there's a thing here. Michael's actually pointing out there. He's I'm hoping the Mavic 3 will have the Skydio avoidance's capability. If it does, it's going to be one hell of a drone, and it really is.
Yeah. So let me expand on that for just a second. So there's I know both Terry and DeMarco have the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. That has tremendous three-dimensional follow me capabilities. As long as you are not moving real fast, that your Mavic 2 will do exactly what that Skydio does. Now, it won't do it at the high speeds that the Skydio does, and it uses a different technology to do it. But for instance, DeMarco, on your bicycle, your Mavic 2 Zoom would follow you just fine.
Yeah,
no problem.
One of the reasons why I want a Skydio is right now for me to do it like with my bike, I have to load all that phone, like the phone controller into a bag or something.
Exactly. And then you go over a bump and it all.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
No. Can't risk it.
What I have for you is when the battery gets low, like will it go back to home or will it land near you?
So
you can set it to your controller, can't you? Instead of your home point.
Yeah, you can tell it what you want it to do. And I know it sounds kind of weird because it's got those props on the bottom, but it's super easy to hand catch because the battery is on the bottom. You hit the button and tell it to descend to land, and it comes down so slow.
You just go underneath it and
reach up and grab it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's down.
Because the worst thing that could happen, it could take off again and you've got the battery in your hand.
Well, then it wouldn't take off very far. Hey, so I see Bill Thomas of Coast to Coast Drones is asking me to mention the enterprise stuff coming up. So DJI just announced a bunch of enterprise things, and I'm trying to remember all that's in that, but I know it can do roof inspections, overhead bridge inspections, and it will allow access to those cameras that are used for positioning. It can build 3D models and so forth. So there's a bunch of stuff coming in. It's a smart drone.
That's it. We're all selling the drones and buy Skydios. Marcus, over it.
And so Bill is saying super zoom too. So it will do, I think it's 200 by, but it's just a digital zoom. So it's going to be pretty grainy. But what they're saying is you'll get a 360-degree picture. So for instance, for police, right? And they got one up there and there's something going on. Well, they don't need to have it pointed at whatever.
It'll just capture it.
And then they can zoom in on whatever that issue happens to be and figure out what's going on. So anyway, cool stuff. Technology.
Yeah, amazing.
What is his super zoom? This is what he's actually saying.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. That's it. Skydio 2's all round then. Maybe we should all have Marcus's for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, me first.
No, Jackie, you have it last because you'll never get it back, Marcus.
You don't get it back.
I know it would just be Marcus, I don't know what happened to it.
It'd be like
he's on his way to where was Sparky off to?
Morocco. Yeah, he was heading to Morocco.
Last time heading to Morocco. DeMarco, as you realise that Jackie sort of invented the underwater drone.
Yeah, aqua drone.
Yeah.
It converted itself all on its own. It thought, I'm not staying here with you anymore. I'm going. Bye-bye.
It was trying to come home, though, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not convinced.
We filmed it coming home.
Yeah, but it took off like a rocket, and then it just went down. I don't know that it was coming back.
So, Jackie, how hot of a day was that when that happened? Was it a hot day?
No, we were doing.
It's early in the morning as well, wasn't it? It was quite early in the morning, wasn't it?
Sunrise, wasn't it?
Well, the reason I mentioned that is because I remember my Spark. I mean, it did not like heat, and it would do wacky things on hot days.
No, it wasn't a hot day. It was
6 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just been playing up. Kept going into ATI mode, and it just wouldn't respond then.
No.
It went shot off like a rocket.
Have we not got anyone on Facebook watching us today? Everyone on Facebook gone home, have they? all 1,022 subscribers, not there, all in bed.
Oh,
That's it. Maybe Facebook probably just cut me off for not using that tune again, that Thunderbirds tune. 138 countries that's banned in, Jackie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Facebook said, no, you must not use that. That's copyright. We're going to mute the first 30 seconds of your show because and from 138 countries. I thought, am I bothered though?
We like
I watched that. I watched that on Amazon Prime. I showed my kids. Like my brother and I used to watch that when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, they're bringing out free special editions as well.
Oh wow.
I'm not sure if they're going to use the original puppetry but yeah, I just love Thunderbirds. It's just.
In fact, we used to watch that. I'm not sure. You guys used to watch Spectre Man too.
Spectre Man.
It was a Japanese show. The guy. Google it, come up. But it was made like back in the '62. The same thing, pretty much. But watch that too. So
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
the knobs on it. We used to.
Yeah.
13 watching, turn that thumbs up.
Oh yeah, must give us.
Thank you, Bill.
Let's do that. There we go. Done.
Thumbs up. I've done mine.
I am, Bill. I am.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you got to leave. There's only 12 watching. No, you don't do thumbs up and disappear. He comes up, you put the thumbs up on the way in. So you should make a prize of the first person from Facebook and see what happens. There's no one on Facebook. They're all gone. I can't believe it. Oh, dear. Anyway, moving on. Right, anyone got any questions of DeMarco? No? I'm sure Jackie has.
Which of your drones, well, I was going to say, which of your other drones, other than a DJI, would you say was the best drone out of your other drones?
I would say, the Autel is the best of the other drones.
Yeah.
The Autel is on par with a Mavic Pro, original Mavic Pro, probably a little bit better.
Really?
Yeah. But I would say, I don't own my Xenos anymore though. I love that drone. I did. I just had such a fun time with it. And maybe it was because I was new and I was going out further than like I had ever been with like any other drone. And the picture was just great. But like that was.
When you got that one, that was like a major step up from your other ones, was it?
Yeah. At the time when I bought it, it was like $369 when I bought it. So I was like, oh my God, $400 drone. I'm buying that, and now I'm buying like $1,300 drones. But I would say this. All of them. The only drone that I did not like, I hated, was that first Parrot drone. That you control it with your phone. And it was just an awful drone. In fact, I found the box. I showed it to Marcus last week, and like on the box it says something. The box that's my brother.
Yeah. New question. What is that all about?
Yeah. We want to know.
I'm telling later.
You regularly lose your shoes when you're
I'm going to bring it back in. Have you lost any more house shoes chasing your drone?
That's American, isn't it? For slippers.
Yeah, your house shoes.
Yeah.
Well, but like, on the box for that Parrot drone, it's a max distance of 50 meters.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. But like back then, like we didn't know. Like I thought it was a long way. The what my brother is talking about there is my Bugs 3 actually flew away with me from me at nighttime. So I was chasing it over the neighbor's fences. In my house shoes.
Well, it's not good.
Right. Next question.
I off the house shoe and stepped in water, and my sock was all wet, and I was scaring people, and like I live in the South, so like I didn't realize what I was doing, but I should not be jumping through people's yards in the middle of the night. You know, I just I got it back. I did.
I can see.
Oh yeah.
Come and say hello.
Nap.
Make up the numbers.
Next question. What else can you tell us, Dennis?
A lot. We grew up there. That's my older brother. Right? No, and in fact, like when we were kids, like we had RC cars. I don't know if you guys did.
Yeah.
So like Hornets and Grasshoppers and RC10s. I'm not sure if you guys know what those are too. Like that was the car to have back in the day was an RC10. Like that was a fast car.
No, I don't know what that is.
But like now, like my kids, like I got them all involved in RC cars and everything too. So it's fun. Like no drones out of yet. That's still too little.
They're too little, aren't they? Yeah. They'd be dangerous with them.
This video, it didn't happen.
I said this like yesterday. Like we went out to the field, this big, huge soccer field, driving our car. So my son has a car, my wife has her car, and I have mine. This huge soccer field, and my son is doing what he's doing. I'm showing my daughter how to drive my car, and next thing I know, my son's car hits me right in the ankle. And I turn around and I said, "Son, and somehow you find my skinny little ankle, you know." So
yeah, definitely don't give him a drone just yet.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. They'll be knocking on my door.
What was it? Someone put a joke on Facebook earlier in the week. He says, I suddenly realised I couldn't see my drone in my viewfinder, but it suddenly hit me.
Oh,
And then it hit me. Yeah.
I'm still trying to work out the other one about the drone that can be sort of spelled backwards. I didn't quite understand the palindrome.
Yeah, palindrome.
Palindrome. So palindrome is a word that can be spelled the same.
Right, the same. Like the name
okay. I was just thinking, I was looking at that too literally, obviously.
Go back and read it again now, Steve. It'll make perfect sense.
It will make perfect sense now.
Hey, there's a video out there. I haven't seen it for years, but it's this guy. He's a farmer, and he's standing up on his tractor.
Seen it.
You've seen it. So Jackie knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's bragging about the obstacle avoidance on his new Mavic Pro. And he forgot he had turned it off.
Oh.
So he is flying it directly at his own head.
Yeah, he had faith it was going to move, didn't he?
Oh, it right into his forehead. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
down his nose, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, broke his nose. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Stitches, all that stuff.
His slippers cost more than the drone.
Yeah.
It probably did.
Yeah, that obstacle avoidance only works if you turn it on.
Yeah, it works. But I'll say this: I try not to rely on it that much. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, like you never know. You know, it's not a Skydio where like that's what it's built around. You know? Yeah.
Listen, DeMarco, here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to take your Mavic 2 Zoom. You need to turn on all the obstacle avoidance, put it in tracking mode, active track, and you need to let that thing follow you around, and you'll get confidence in it.
Really? With what is APAS on or off?
With APAS on, so that it can move around obstacles. There's almost no place that you can't send it. Now, even if here's what you can do: if you go too fast, you can lose it, and it'll lose track of you. But it won't hit anything. It'll just sit there and hover until you find it again.
Come back.
Well, what I've been planning to actually do, Marcus, is to actually put it up in the air while I'm cutting the lawn, like you did.
I did that with the Skydio, but yeah.
This Thursday I planned to do it, but it was really windy, so I changed my mind.
Oh yeah.
But
so,
like, yeah.
It would do it. It would do it. But you know, as long as you weren't moving too fast. There's guys that crash them. You'll see videos out there of people crashing their Mavic 2 because you can put it in either, I think it's regular mode or fast mode. In fast mode, they even tell you, they say, you know what, in fast mode, be careful because it may not recognize something, and people do crash them in fast mode. But in regular mode, it's not going to crash. It's not.
I'll try it out.
Yeah.
So I mean, just the difference with the Skydio, of course. I mean, so you obviously if you're using it to track your phone on the beacon, then you have like when you do not follow me. What is it? The active track with a Mavic. You draw a box around the item, the person or whatever.
Not with the Skydio. The Skydio.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's different to Skydio. So it can't lose it because it's attached to this beacon, as it were, isn't it?
Yeah, with the beacon, it's GPS. So it's comparing the GPS of the drone to the GPS of the beacon, and that's how it's figuring out. But it also optically has to recognize you to keep you in the center of frame. But what it'll do, when you fire it up and the drone takes off, it'll put a plus sign over any people that it sees. It'll put a plus sign over vehicles and so forth.
You have to hit that plus button, do you?
You hit that button, and that's what it will track. Now, when you're just using the beacon without your app or your phone, you can fly it with just the beacon. You can tell when it has you because you'll start it up and you can see the drone looking for you, and then you'll see it lock in on you, and then you got it.
We have a Facebook user.
Hello, Facebook user. Welcome to
Tell us who you are.
Star Prize. You go flying with Jackie. All you got to do is go to Spain. I did say it was a prize. I didn't say what it was, though, did I?
No, we're going on Friday, Jackie.
Or you go flying with Terry.
Yeah, Friday.
We're flying Friday.
Yes,
hopefully.
It's going to be a few degrees cooler this Friday than last Friday.
It's going to be. We've got a heat wave coming this weekend again. I mean, it was hot. It was on Friday. It was 33 here.
Yeah.
I mean, for us.
Yeah,
but the thing is, it goes to one extreme to another because you get 33 one day, 25 the next day, 22 today, then rain this evening. Tomorrow, goodness knows what. I don't know.
Jackie and Steve, where do you guys normally fly? You go to a field or just?
Oh, anywhere. Just
anywhere. We've got a quarry. We're doing a recce on a quarry. I'm possibly going to go tomorrow to check that one out. An old Roman quarry. Mm-hmm. And there's a bits and pieces, anything to be quite honest. But if we can, archaeological sites, definitely churches and old castles.
Yeah, castles are a favourite, aren't they?
Yeah, most of the waterways here are Parque Nacional.
So every day's a heat wave in Texas. You know, I'm quite So I don't know if you know, DeMarco, that Jackie and Terry, they live in Spain.
Oh, Spain, okay.
They're on the southeast coast of Spain. Obviously, I'm in the UK, and Marcus is. I'm not sure where Marcus is. Where are you?
I'm not Idaho. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, bit of a clue in the name. Where are you in DeMarco?
We are in Northwest Arkansas. So
I don't know where that
we
is.
live in Rogers, which is right next to Bentonville, which is the home of Walmart. So
I've learnt where a new place is. I saw a picture on Facebook. Someone had drawn a map of, coloured in the states, right, to show where Kentucky is.
Kentucky,
and basically, it's a chef down the middle of America, and he's holding out a tray, and on the tray is Kentucky.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Was it chicken?
Yeah.
Chicken.
Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
I mean, I've been to Kentucky before, but
I've been there.
Yeah.
Well, I know where it is on the map now.
Good, that's good.
I mean, I'm guessing that's where the chicken derived from. It's got to, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't just used it. Yeah, but that's what I mean. They haven't just used the name. I mean, that's where it come from.
Right.
Now, are the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas?
Yes. I've never flown there, but yeah, they're not that far from us. They're not that far from us.
I watch Mountain Men.
Good question.
There are a lot of like, I wouldn't call them mountains, but I would say huge ravines that you can just fly down in. In fact, I told my brother, like, when he comes down to visit, we can fly. But they're vast. I mean, they're just all forest, vast enough to where, like, I joke with them all the time. If the drone went down, you are never getting it back. Like, never getting it back. Or you can actually try to go out there and get it, but like you might run into someone or something that wants to eat you. It's just vast. Oh yeah, so
yeah.
And Marcus, someone's answered a question there. Michael said, "From Mavic Pro 2 in obstacle avoidance, like you fly your Skydio, we warrant it 100%."
You know, Michael, I don't say that, but, no. But Michael, you need to try it. You'll be surprised, Michael. It'll do well. I promise you.
Well, I've had absolutely no problems with mine on obstacle avoidance. The Zoom, absolutely fabulous. Yeah. And we were flying it in a cave at the beginning of the year. But I had to take obstacle avoidance off, but it didn't like the overhead obstacle.
Right.
But it went well in, didn't it, Jackie? We were right inside the cave. But it did throw up an awful lot of dust.
Yeah, we hadn't planned on that, had we?
So has the Mavic 2 actually got sensors on top as well, then, does it? Or?
Yeah.
360, Steve.
360, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Marcus, they have caves, they have castles.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
I've got a question for you, DeMarco.
I get a feel, you know.
When you have them,
field as well.
everyone's got castles.
Well, DeMarco, they also have things built by the Moors.
Oh, really?
No, Marcus, by the Romans.
Yeah, by the Romans. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're right on the. Jackie and I, we both live on the same route that Hannibal took from Cartagena to Rome, when he took his army of 13,000 or plus his elephants, and that's all coming down the Via Augusta, which is just literally down the road from us.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful. Really is. There's a fantastic amount of history. It's all around us.
I don't think we're ever going to run out of places to go and see, are we?
No.
Just go back to the mines again.
Like when I travel, I want to see something like that. I don't want to see a statue that millions of people have seen. I want to go see that road that Hannibal traveled down.
Yeah.
Well,
we
often go to the mines at Matheron. The mines at Matheron were first started by cavemen, really. But then the Romans then mined it for silver and for gold and for tin. And the workings are still there. And it's fabulous.
And don't forget what happens when it rains.
Oh yeah, the red pools come up
because of the mineral content. Everything turns red.
Yep.
And
there's actually a video on Drone Seeker's YouTube. I did a video there when I was in Spain, must be about 3 years ago. Mark, it's worth watching because it's one of the places where you can go there, and every time you go there, you think, "Oh, there's something new, isn't there?" I've been flying there. I don't know how many times now, but I went twice in 2 days. I think we went Monday and Tuesday.
Why does the water?
See the lakes.
Well, it's red. I assume that's iron. Turning it red, right?
Okay.
But it's proper red. It's like blood red.
It does look blood red. When I first ever saw it in a video, I think something that Steve Dunnett had actually put on there, I was convinced he'd sort of somehow manipulated the video somehow.
No, it's absolutely red.
But apparently
Another one of our favourite spots is the oldest working dam in Europe.
Yeah.
And this thing was built in initially in 1100 odd, and then now they've rebuilt it, and it's still there in its original form. And that's the one at Tibby.
Yeah.
And then we've got another dam at Elche, which is
brilliant.
Yeah, that's impressive as well, isn't
It
it?
is absolute. Honestly, you come over and we could take you out for 2 weeks without a problem.
Again, it's on the YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel. It's all there.
Yeah, look on the YouTube channel.
Put that in, that plug in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question for Terry and Jackie. So, if you were coming over, what would be the best time of year to come over for visit? Say Sarah and I came over for and stayed in a villa for a month. What would be the best month to do it?
Just not July and August.
No, April through June, October, December.
Got you.
May is a lovely time. I think
May, right.
I'd say
May's
spring
my
is better
favourite
than
time.
autumn. Sometimes you can get a bit of rain in autumn, can't you?
And a lot of wind in autumn as well, but certainly springtime.
The irony is that the only time I've been to Spain and had real rain was actually in August.
Well, it gets too hot and you get the odd occasional storm, don't you?
But I mean, it was a very warm rain.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
Oh,
I was actually in the pool in the rain because it felt warmer. But no, I mean, my favourite time of the year, I think it's got to be May. I mean, I would have been out there in May. Unfortunately, something stopped it, didn't it?
Yeah.
But
Weather-related or
I'm going to say in the States, you've got some fabulous places to go. Look at some of Jeannie's stuff that today.
If I was where Marcus lives, I think I'd be going to Snake Canyon every day.
Yeah.
Actually, brilliant.
That's on my bucket list, actually.
Yeah, I went out there this morning and flew the Femi X8 SE, and I got there early enough.
Sorry, Gary.
Gary, it's warm rain, Gary. Don't worry, it's warm.
And of course, in the U.S. now, our passports are worthless. We can't go anywhere.
I mean, the biggest problem is with this 14-day quarantine. I mean, like it or lump it, I mean, it's there. How they're going to police this, I don't know. But of course, you got employers saying, "Well, hang on, so you want 14 days off, and you're 14 days off on sick pay, basically." That's it.
Yeah.
Because if a company knows you'll come back from Spain, I mean, I work from home, so my argument could be, well, hang on, I work from home. What difference does it make? But I'm guaranteed the company would actually turn around and say, no, you're not technically, you're signed off sick because you're quarantined for 2 weeks. You know, it's crazy, but I'm just hoping it disappears by October, so I can come out and follow you.
Not by October, it won't, but hopefully by early next year, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping by August next year.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there an American scientist saying that he's confident there'll be a vaccine by Christmas?
Fauci says that there'll be, and there's several companies working on it. So
yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, that's so
the thing about that is like we won't get it first. I mean, not even first, but like we'll be down the list before we get it.
It's going to be healthcare workers and whatever. I mean, we've got 66 million people, and apparently the government put the English government have actually put the British government have actually put an order in for 100 million doses. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you think about vaccinating 66 million people. I mean, I know in the States, I mean, it's a lot more than that. But to me, I think, how long is that going to take?
Massive figure, isn't it? Can't imagine that many people, can you?
No.
Well, if everybody would wear masks when they're in public, we could certainly knock it down by quite a bit. But over here in the States, there's just so many people that they just won't do it.
Yeah. Well, luckily in Spain, they're all doing it, aren't they, Terry? We're all just wearing our masks when we go out.
Yeah, your mask, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, they're increasing the places you have to wear a mask in the UK, but again, it's all too little, too late.
Really enforced, isn't it?
I mean,
supermarkets there are still selling to people who aren't wearing masks.
I mean, the classic,
they kick you out.
Absolute classic. Yesterday, I was looked at a shop and there's a sign on the door and it says, "Please wear a mask if you can."
No.
I like the one where it says, "You will wear a mask in our shop, because if you don't wear a mask, we'll take your temperature, and we only do rectal temperatures."
Good stuff.
I would say you don't wear a mask, you're not getting served. So on your bike.
Yeah.
Here we have, Marcus couldn't say this. Here we have signs that have been up for I don't know how many years. No shoes, no shirt, no service. And those signs have been up on stores since I was a kid. So
just add no mask.
Yeah.
That's what
people say. And they say, well, it's my right.
Oh.
That's right. They'll go in there with just a mask on and start buck naked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got a mask on.
Yeah. One of the I just saw Steve Fox's comment. I actually work for Walmart, and one of the reasons why they actually finally did it because we actually had a lot of workers dying, and they got fed up with it. Yeah.
So DeMarco he's being pretty humble. His job at Walmart, he's the guy that greets you at the front door when you walk in.
Oh, so you stand there going,
Is that with a shotgun, DeMarco?
And he stands there and says, "No mask." What?
Thanks, Marcus.
Anyway, time's getting on, so you know what time it is now, don't you, Terry?
Oh,
no.
And now it's time for Terry's Joke of the Week.
we talk about efficiency. We've talked a lot today about flights and the way flights are and how we're efficient in the way we do things. But we've got an efficiency expert, and he concluded in his lecture to a load of students, you need to be careful about trying these techniques at home. Why? Said somebody in the audience. Well, I watched my wife's routine at dinner for years, the expert explained. She made lots of trips between the refrigerator, stove, table and cabinets, often carrying a single item at a time. One day I asked her, honey, why don't you try carrying several things at once? Did it save time? The guy in the audience asked. Actually, yes, replied the expert. It used to take her 30 minutes to make dinner. Now I do it in 10.
Terry's Joke of the Week.
I got lowered in that, Marco. I really got telling a joke every week.
I like it.
You see what you get for it. See, if he wasn't mad before, he will be now.
Don't have to come on our show, but it does help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I enjoy flying drones. How'd you guys get into it?
I was introduced by a friend who had a Hex, and he was trying to fly that. And somehow we were given a couple of Cyma drones, as they were toys. So, yeah, and he then bought a Parrot, which I did in the end, but that wasn't good enough. And this was Steve. He wanted to get a Mavic, and when I saw his Mavic, then that was it. I had a Phantom 3, but then I changed it for a Mavic, and from then on, Mavics, I'm afraid, my fun. I love them.
Yeah.
Yep, fun.
I mean, I was quite happy with mine. I mean, I bought a really cheap drone first of all, just to play around with. And if anything, I'm surprised it didn't put me off flying drones forever, because I mean, it was crazy. It was a crazy thing. It's supposed to have GPS. I'm not sure what GPS stood for with that, but it's certainly what I thought GPS was. It's the one around.
You know what it means, Steve? Get practice, sonny.
Is that what it stood for? Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I reckon I'd be happier flying your thingy, was it City Whoop, than flying that thing. I'm telling you.
City Whoops and half go, don't they? Wow.
Yep.
I'm laughing because I was the same way. Like when I bought that Bugs 3 for $50, it was. I get it all charged up and I run out to the driveway and lift up, and I'm all over the neighborhood. I'm running into people's homes. And look, I had guards on the propellers, but like when you don't have GPS, that is a learning experience.
Yeah, but
it was not fun. And then like I started to get good. I'm not great at it. Like it's been a while since I actually flown it though, and like you lose those skills. But like once they put GPS on the drone, it was like, thank God. Oh yeah. And I have a buddy of mine who lives back in Chicago. Flies like real RC.
I quite agree with the fact that really, I mean, you shouldn't rely on GPS, but let's face it, the thing is with drones these days, I mean, it depends what drone. A racing drone is a racing drone, and that's it. And you can't put GPS on that because that'd be silly. However, with other drones, it's not about flying the drone; it's actually doing the photographs and the videos. So you can focus on that. You don't need to focus on imagine trying to fly a drone and keep that occupied, keeping that still while you're doing filming. It'd be
I've seen Terry do it.
I with City Whoop, once you've got proficient at flying it, then you can take it to places like, and what prompted me to get the City Whoop was the flying in the cave. And I wanted to be able to go into a set of caves that we've got and fly in there. But it is such a long, hard learning curve.
I think a bit of time before that can cope with caves.
So Terry, you'll be interested to hear this. Our friend Ron Brown.
Yes.
He bought what's the little whoop that everybody buys? I can't think of the name. Tiny Hawk.
Yeah.
So John Coopy and all these guys, they were all stoked. They wanted to watch Ron learn how to fly this Tiny Hawk. and so Ron was on Coast to Coast Drones last Wednesday, and John Coopy was too. And John asked him, he said, well, Ron, how is that coming along? And Ron just said, not. He's done it. He said, I'm going to send that back. He said, messing around with the controller, program it and all that. He said, not for me. He goes, when DJI comes out with the one where you push the button, turn on the controller, and it's connected to the drone, he goes, then I'll do it. But until then, no.
I can't remember that little drone was that John Coopy had that we featured his video on there. Was that like
the Green Hornet one?
No, it was only a little. It was only really. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Very small drone. I have to watch the video again now because that looked like a fun drone. I mean, there's fun drones. I mean, to me, playing around with something like that would be quite good just to mess around with without filming. But when you want filming, give me GPS, give me DJI, whatever, a drone with GPS, I'm happy.
that is fun flying, isn't it? That really is. It's lovely. It really is lovely.
Yeah, I might have a buddy of mine back in Chicago. We grew up together, and he has like helicopters and jets and planes. He builds them all himself. And to me, that's a pilot. I mean, he can pilot. He can actually fly a plane. I've tried it, and it is difficult. It takes a lot of training to do that. A lot of time, a lot of crashing. He crashed.
Yeah, well, you've got to start. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? I mean, it's a certain skill set. I mean, to me, it's just too fast.
Yeah.
I'm just sorting out the receiver on that. I'm going to put a new receiver on, and once our wind levels drop, then we'll be taking it out again.
Excellent.
I love it. It is good.
Put one of these beacons on it that goes, I'm over here, Terry. I'm over here.
Well, we know it's
a mile away.
I thought it to say, Jackie, help me.
I'll find it with these ears, don't worry.
I bought those at the beginning of lockdown, and it took me a couple of months to learn everything. I say learn everything, get into beta flight and things like that. Yes, you make loads and loads of mistakes, but it was a really good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't fly anything, but
for me, I would love to get into what is FPV, but just right now, my flying time isn't really solid enough. Once the kids are older, then I'll be able to do it though. But like, I'll fly like on a Sunday, and then like I won't be able to fly again until like the next Sunday. After that though, so I would lose it. So
I quite often fly mine with the DJI goggles, and I haven't tried it yet with the smart controller, but with the normal controller, would fly it with the goggles, and especially when we go to the ravine on the Rio Segura, to use that to look at the different bits and pieces of the ravine using the goggles. Fabulous, really is very good. But they will laugh at me for sitting down.
Yeah, the thing is, you'd have to sit down because I can't imagine how you could stand up. I'd be falling over every time.
You'd be so like
No, you have to sit down, most definitely.
Yeah.
Good fun though. Good fun.
Oh dear. Well, as fun as it's been, it's now 6 minutes late. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Don't sue me, please. Well, DeMarco, it's been great having you on. But
likewise, thanks for having me.
It's been great, and so all we can say now to everyone, well, there's only 10 or 12 people watching now. I'll make your mind up. Should we carry on?
No, I'm going to bed. I haven't got pajamas on, by the way.
What I'm going to do now is find the right video to play, and a good night from all of us, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Good night, all.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the show tonight. See you next time on the Drone Seekers Sunday Show Live.